So you're moving to the Southeast, but you're torn between Charlotte, North Carolina and Atlanta, Georgia. Which one's better for you and your family? Well guys, guess what? That's exactly what we're gonna find out on today's video. Today we're gonna have an epic showdown. We're going to discuss the similarities and differences between Charlotte and Atlanta so you can make the best decision for you and your family, so stay tuned. And if you guys are new to our channel, want to know all there is to know about the Charlotte area, make sure you click subscribe and turn notifications on. That way you'll be the first to know everything going on in our housing market. My name is Josh Finigan, team leader with the Finigan Group, powered by eXp Realty. And every single day we're getting calls, texts, and emails from people just like you. And guys, we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, call us, text us, email us, schedule a Zoom meeting. The link is just below. We'd love to connect and learn a little bit more about what you're looking to accomplish. So as we mentioned earlier, today we're gonna have an epic showdown between Charlotte, North Carolina and Atlanta, Georgia. Now in this battle royale, we're gonna have 6 different rounds. Round 1, geography and climate. Round 2, transportation and traffic. Round 3, population and demographics. Round 4, lifestyle and culture. Round 5, growth and economy. And round 6, housing and cost of living. And our goal by the end of this video is you'll really have all the information and details you'll need to really choose which of these 2 cities are best for you and your family's needs. So let's go ahead and jump on into round 1, which is geography and climate. Now, Charlotte is in North Carolina. It's actually on the border of North and South Carolina. And the greater Charlotte area encompasses parts of North and South Carolina. And it's in the Piedmont region, which is relatively flat. Whereas Atlanta is over in Georgia, and it's actually on the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, so you're gonna have a lot more topography. It's a little bit hillier than Charlotte. Now, Charlotte is about 2 hours away from the Blue Ridge Mountains and about 3.5 hours away from some great beaches like Riceville Beach, Hilton Head, Charleston, and Myrtle Beach. Whereas Atlanta is about 1.5 hours from the mountain getaways in North Georgia, but about 4 hours away from the Atlantic coast, so it's a little bit longer of a drive to get to the beaches. So Charlotte lands its first punch by giving you a little bit more proximity to mountains and the beach. Now, the city of Charlotte is actually larger than the city of Atlanta when it comes to the size. The city of Charlotte is around 300 square miles, where the city of Atlanta is only around 134 square miles. And the greater Charlotte area covers around 8,536 square miles with 10 counties compared to the greater Atlanta area, which covers around 8,376 square miles and 29 counties. So Charlotte's larger, but Atlanta's definitely more dense, so that's pretty even on that playing field. And when it comes to climate, both of these 2 cities share a lot more similarities than differences. First, they both have 4 distinct seasons. They both have hot, humid summers and really mild winters with the occasional snow. Now, Charlotte can get a little bit more snow than Atlanta, but Atlanta experiences a lot more rain than Charlotte has. Both cities can experience tornadoes, but Atlanta gets a few more tornadoes than Charlotte, and both cities can get their fair share of tropical storms or hurricanes, but they tend to be a little bit more severe in Charlotte because you're a little closer to the coast. So what about round 1? I think this is a very close round. I mean, they both are pretty similar in terms of climate and geographies with a few trade-offs here and there. The one big difference is Charlotte has closer proximity to the beach and the mountains. That may squeak them out to win round 1, but I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you guys are relocating to the Charlotte area, you have to check out our ultimate relocation guide. Just scan this QR code right here. It's completely free for you. We have spent hundreds of hours putting this guide together, giving you all the information on the neighborhoods, areas, and all the insider secrets, information, and stats that you need to make the best decision for you and your family. Let's go ahead and get started with round 2, transportation and traffic. Now, both of these cities are rapidly growing, so they do face a lot of traffic issues, which is very common for growing cities. Now, Charlotte's traffic problem is definitely much more moderate when compared to Atlanta, which is really known as one of the worst in the Southeast. The average commute time in Charlotte is 25.7 minutes, and the average commute time in Atlanta is 39 minutes. So that's definitely a win in Charlotte's case. Now, both cities are very car dependent and rely heavily on the interstates. They both have a beltway surrounding the city. Charlotte has I-485 and Atlanta has I-285. Overall, Atlanta does have a more dense interstate system, but there's also more traffic on those roads. So what about public transportation? Now, Atlanta does have a much more robust public transit system with their MARTA system, and it connects a lot of different areas inside the city and even connects to the airport, which is one thing Charlotte is lacking. Now, Charlotte's public transit system called CATS is growing, but it doesn't offer that robust ability that Atlanta does, and it doesn't connect directly to the airport. Now, both of these cities do have that public transit system that really connect inside the city itself, but they really lack connecting the outside suburbs to the city. So Atlanta does sneak out a little win here because it does have a larger and more utilized public transit system. So what about airports? You have the Charlotte Airport and the Atlanta Airport. Both are major airport hubs and have seen a significant amount of growth in recent years. Charlotte has seen about 11.9% increase year over year, where Atlanta has seen 11.7% year over year. Now, the Atlanta Airport is about twice the size as Charlotte's Airport and has been the busiest airport every year since 1998. And Charlotte is the 22nd busiest airport in the world. So Atlanta will definitely give you more international and domestic options, but you still have a lot of options in the Charlotte International Airport as well. And in my opinion, I've definitely been in both airports quite often. Charlotte's airport is a lot more easy to traverse and kind of get from one place to the other. So it's definitely a win for Atlanta for size and destinations, and one win for Charlotte for ease and kind of being at the airport. So who wins round two? This is another very close round, guys. It really could go either way depending on what you're looking for in a city. I think Charlotte did eke out a slight win on this round as well. Let's go ahead and start round number 3, which is population and demographics. Now, the city of Charlotte's population is actually 1.8 times larger than the city of Atlanta's. The city of Charlotte's population in 2022 is 897,720 compared to Atlanta's 499,127. But that's really because Charlotte covers a much larger area than Atlanta does. But Atlanta has about 1,000 more people per square foot than Charlotte does, so it's definitely a lot more dense. Now, Charlotte Metro is about 2.3 times smaller than Atlanta. The greater Atlanta area has a population of 6.2 million versus the greater Charlotte area at 2.75 million. And both cities host a very diverse population because there's a ton of people from around the world moving to both Atlanta and to Charlotte. So you'll find all cultures from around the world represented in both of these cities. And if we look at the age, the average age in Atlanta is 33 years and the average age in Charlotte is 34.4 years. So both cities have a very young and vibrant culture. So who wins round 3? Well, I really do think it's a tie. It's very subjective. Now, Atlanta's obviously got a larger population, which may appeal to some, but Charlotte has a smaller population, which may appeal to others. And both demographics are very similar, which is why I think this one is a tie. Let's go ahead and jump into round number 4, lifestyle and culture. Now, both of these cities really embody that Southern charm with friendly residents and a welcoming community. Both have a thriving culture scene. You have Mint Museum in Charlotte, the High Museum in Atlanta. Both have great outdoor parks and areas. You have Freedom Park in Charlotte and Piedmont Park in Atlanta. Both offer popular waterfront destinations for those seeking a lake life. You have Lake Wiley and Lake Norman in Charlotte. You have Lake Lanier and Allatoona in Atlanta. Both have sports cultures with professional teams like the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte and the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. But there are a few key differences that it's important to point out. First is the pace of life. Now, Charlotte is really known as a slower pace, a little bit more friendly and family-oriented, where Atlanta is a little bit more of a fast-paced urban environment. Atlanta will definitely have more entertainment and creative industries, while Charlotte offers a little bit more of an approachable atmosphere. And Atlanta definitely has a lot more iconic and historical landmarks and monuments, where Charlotte's a lot more of a growing hub, becoming one of those large metro cities. So who wins round 4? And guys, this is definitely a hard one because again, there's a lot of similarities. The biggest difference is, are you looking for that fast-paced, big city lifestyle, or do you want something a little bit more slower paced, a little bit more intimate, a little bit more strong community ties? So this one, in my opinion, is extremely subjective. Some will love Atlanta for those reasons and some will love Charlotte for other reasons. So it's really up to you guys. I'm gonna give this one a tie. Let's go ahead and start round number 5, which is growth and economy. Now guys, both of these cities have been rapidly growing over the past few years, but Charlotte's growing a little bit faster, right? Charlotte has seen about a 20% growth in the last decade, where Atlanta's seen about an 18% growth. So it's definitely a slight win for Charlotte there, and there's a lot of things attracting people to both of these cities respectively. One of them is economy and jobs. And both these cities have a robust economy and job market. Now, Charlotte does have 18 Fortune 500 companies calling it home, where Atlanta only has 16, so another slight win for Charlotte there. But it really depends on what field and job market you're currently looking in. Charlotte has a ton of companies. Some of the biggest are Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Lowe's, Honeywell, and Belk, where Atlanta will have Home Depot, UPS, Delta, Coca-Cola, and GE. Atlanta is known for its diverse economy base, hosting numerous corporate headquarters in transportation, media, tech, and has a significant film industry presence. Where Charlotte is really known as a financial hub. It is a banking capital. It's the second largest banking capital outside New York City in the United States. So we're definitely known for the financial services here in Charlotte, but we have rapidly growing economies in tech, energy, and healthcare. Charlotte is rapidly emerging as a large tech hub, but Atlanta does have a much more mature and diverse tech ecosystem. So while Charlotte is growing much faster than Atlanta, Atlanta does still remain the bigger player, at least for now. And it's really because it's established infrastructure and its broader industry base. But Charlotte is quickly catching up. So Charlotte definitely wins for the amount of rapid growth they've seen and also the number of Fortune 500 companies, but Atlanta has been a larger city for longer, so historically it could have been the safer choice, but that is quickly changing because Charlotte is attracting some really big players. And because of this, they both have their wins and their strong points, and they both have a robust economy that offers a lot of different jobs. I'm gonna have to give this one a tie. Let's go ahead and start round number 6, the final round, guys, housing and cost of living. Now, both Charlotte and Atlanta offer really moderate costs of living when you compare to some other large metro cities in the United States. The cost of living in Charlotte is about 4.5% lower than Atlanta if you do not include rent, but it's 2% higher if you include rent. Charlotte rents are about 16.1% higher than they are in Atlanta, which just proves you should buy a house and you need the Charlotte. Now, Charlotte's cost of living is lower in terms of restaurants, groceries, and transportation, but Atlanta's median income is higher at $86,000 a year compared to $74,000 a year in Charlotte, which leads to Atlanta having a higher purchasing power on average. So that's definitely a win for Atlanta in terms of cost of living. But what about housing? Now, both cities offer a diverse range of housing options, whether you want to live in the urban city, that condo townhome lifestyle, everything in a walkable distance. If you want to live in some great neighborhoods, some great suburbs, or even a little bit more rural, then you have those options in both cities. And when it comes to housing prices, Charlotte homes are typically less expensive than homes in Atlanta. So Atlanta definitely wins for cost of living and Charlotte wins for housing. So this one, guys, should really be a tie, but honestly, I feel bad for Atlanta because they haven't won any rounds. So we'll just go ahead and give this one to Atlanta. So out of 6 rounds, we had 3 ties. Atlanta won 1 and Charlotte won 2 rounds. So Charlotte ekes out a slight win. But I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Ultimately, choosing between Charlotte and Atlanta comes down to what you value most. Do you want that big city energy, that urban lifestyle? Then you may be a little more comfortable in Atlanta. If you want to be in a rapidly growing financial district that really has its laid back atmosphere with close community ties, then Charlotte may be a better fit for you. Both cities are full of promise, vibrancy, offering great lifestyles and friendly Southern hospitality. It all comes down to which flavor of Southern city living that really resonates with you. So guys, we represent the Charlotte area. So if you are considering moving to the Charlotte area, whether it be in 9 days or 90 days, we would love to be your real estate resource of choice. So call us, text us, email us, or schedule a Zoom meeting. The link is below. We'd love to learn about what you're looking to accomplish and how we can help. And if you do decide to move to Atlanta, don't worry, I won't be offended, guys. I do have some strong ties with some of the top realtors in the Atlanta area though, so give us a call. We'll connect you with a great agent that can really take care of you in Atlanta as well. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you around town.